Landscaping in Florida can be exciting, fun, and rewarding. But if it's not done correctly, it can be frustrating and unsustainable. In order to make you feel right in place with your landscape, Austin Outdoor has put together a series titled 5 Most Common Landscape Mistakes, starting with the first most common mistake: wrong plant, wrong place. Getting your plants in the right place may sound like a basic concept, but without this understanding, from what hardiness zone you live in to the soil conditions in your lawn, sustainable landscapes that improve your quality of life will seem beyond reach. First off, knowing your hardiness zone, starting with North and Northwest Florida, Zone 8. Major metropolitan areas in this zone include Gainesville, Tallahassee, Panama City, Destin, Pensacola, and parts of Jacksonville. This zone averages minimum temperatures of 15 to 20 degrees, making for a very different plant palette than what's typically seen in South Florida. With temperatures like these allowing for freezes, yet still getting extremely hot in the summer, seasonal changes are very evident. Typical plants that work well in this zone are azaleas, crepe myrtles, and magnolias. Moving south, we reach Zone 9. This zone includes the greater areas of Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa, and has average minimum temperatures of 20 degrees. There are still seasonal effects in this part of Florida, but less drastic than Zone 8 to the north. Examples of plants that do well in Zone 9 include medjool palms, camellias, and lantana. Zone 10 in South Florida has far less drastic temperatures from season to season, making this zone's plant palette much different than other parts of central and northern Florida. Major areas in this zone include Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Fort Myers. Temperatures rarely get below freezing, which accommodates plants such as coconut palms, birds of paradise, and ginger. Soil types. Within each hardiness zone, there's something not so constant as the minimum temperatures: the soil. In Florida, soils tend to be sandy, although soils fluctuate from property to property within each zone. Sandy soils have a grainy consistency and tend to drain quickly and dehydrate. When planting in sandy soils, add topsoil or organic matter, such as compost. Good plant choices for sandy soils include dune or beach sunflower, sea grapes, and Simpson's stopper. Have your soil tested to figure out what type of soil you have. This way, you know what the right plants are for the right place. If your soil has large levels of clay, think about planting fountain grass, swamp sunflower, or oxeye daisies. Wet soils accommodate many plants, including American hollies, liriope, and Confederate jasmine. Sun and shade. Many plants do well in either sun or shade. Examples of sun-loving plants are plumbago, bottlebrush, and ligustrum. Examples of shade-tolerant plants are Ceylon philodendron, impatiens, and camellias. Environmental conditions. Keep in mind the surrounding conditions of your site, which can include animals, salt levels, and structures. Deer are notorious for eating many plants, which can quickly ruin plant health and aesthetics. Also keep in mind the salt tolerance of your plants. Make sure to research the potential size, spread, and root structure of plants before planting. Also consider structures such as sidewalks, patios, roofs, and cars before planting. A sycamore may be a nice shade tree choice, but its lateral roots would break up a sidewalk if planted too close. A royal palm tree can look beautiful and stately in your front yard, but don't plant it too close to your parking area. It averages the loss of 1 frond per month, which makes it notorious for denting cars underneath it. A great resource for researching plant types and growth habits is the Electronic Data Information Source at the University of Florida. In defining right plant, right place, we've reviewed the different hardiness zones in Florida, the soil types, growing in sun versus shade, and environmental conditions. In knowing this information, you can take one more step in making your landscape more enjoyable, less involved, and more sustainable. This has been the first in our series, 5 Most Common Landscape Mistakes. Be on the lookout for next month's video on the second most common landscape mistake.